Dr. Zethkar's four eyes darted between the holographic displays floating around his chitinous form, each one showing the same disturbing data. The Velthari cubs, apex predators from the death world of Skarmoth, had been restless for 17 rotations now. Their bio readings spiked erratically, their massive forms twitching in their containment pods, claws extending and retracting in unconscious hunting motions. Still no pattern? Ana Rodriguez asked, her voice cutting through the sterile hum of the Galactic Conservation Station. The human xenobiologist had arrived 3 days ago as part of an emergency consultation team, though most of the senior staff questioned what a member of the galaxy's newest species could contribute. None. Zethkar clicked in frustration, his mandibles chattering. The cubs should be in deep hibernation until their fourth molting cycle. Instead, they exhibit behaviors consistent with active predation readiness. The monitoring algorithms cannot identify any environmental trigger. Ana stepped closer to the observation window, her brown eyes studying the 6 cubs floating in their biosuspension chambers. Each Velthari was roughly the size of a human adult, even in their juvenile state, with metallic scales that shifted color based on their emotional state. Right now those scales flickered between deep crimson and mottled black, colors that typically preceded a kill. What about their homeworld conditions? Maybe something's off with the atmospheric mix, or... Everything is precisely calibrated, interrupted Dr. Helen Vasquez, Ana's research partner who was reviewing the technical specifications on her tablet. Temperature, humidity, gravitational field strength, even the molecular composition of their breathing medium matches Skarmoth exactly. Helen looked up, her green eyes meeting Ana's. Whatever's causing this, it's not environmental. Zethkar's smaller secondary arms gestured toward a cluster of floating data streams. The cubs are orphans, rescued from a solar flare that devastated their birth colony. They have never encountered another sentient species. The containment facility is isolated. No other life forms should be able to influence them. Ana pressed her palm against the observation window, and something remarkable happened. The nearest cub, despite being in biosuspension, seemed to orient toward her. Its massive head turned slightly, and for a moment its scales shifted to a softer silver blue. That's impossible, Helen whispered. They're in full stasis. Neural activity should be minimal. But Ana was already moving toward the containment bay's entrance. I want to go inside. Absolutely not. Zethkar's voice rose to a harsh shriek. These are Velthari. Their kind conquered 17 star systems before the Galactic Council contained them to their homeworld. Even as cubs, they could tear through battle armor. They're sleeping, Ana said simply. And they're having nightmares. Helen caught her arm. Ana, what are you thinking? Ana's expression grew thoughtful. On Earth we have predators too. Big cats, wolves, bears. When their young are stressed or separated from their pack, they exhibit similar behaviors: restlessness, aggression, inability to settle into normal sleep cycles. She looked back at the cubs. What if they're not responding to a threat? What if they're lonely? The Velthari cubs had been alone for months, she realized. Removed from everything they knew, suspended in artificial wombs with no contact, no comfort. Nothing familiar except the sterile hum of machinery and the cold touch of sensors. Before anyone could stop her, Ana had entered the access code Helen had used earlier and stepped into the containment chamber. Immediately, alarms began blaring, and Zethkar was frantically trying to override the containment protocols. Ana! Helen shouted through the intercom. Get out of there! But something extraordinary was happening. As Ana approached the first pod, the cub inside began to settle. Its scales slowly shifted from agitated crimson to the soft silver blue she'd seen before. Its claws retracted. The erratic bio readings on the monitors began to stabilize. Ana moved to the center of the chamber and sat down cross-legged on the floor. She began to hum softly, an old lullaby her grandmother had sung to her. The melody was simple, ancient, carrying within it thousands of years of human mothers comforting their young. One by one, the cubs began to calm. Their restless movements ceased. Their bioreadings dropped to the deep, steady rhythms of genuine hibernation. The scales across all 6 cubs settled into peaceful patterns of deep blue and silver. "Remarkable," Zethkar whispered, his scientific curiosity overriding his panic. "The neural activity patterns are... I have never seen anything like this." Helen was frantically taking readings. "Anna, their stress hormones are dropping by 40%. Cortisol analogs are reaching baseline levels for the first time since we've been monitoring them." Anna continued humming for another few minutes, then quietly rose and exited the chamber. The cubs remained peaceful, their first truly restful sleep in weeks. "How did you know?" Helen asked. Anna smiled tiredly. "Because sometimes being the newest species in the galaxy means you remember things the older ones have forgotten. Every mother in the universe sings to her children. Every young creature needs to know it's not alone." She looked back at the sleeping cubs. They weren't being predators, they were just scared babies missing their family. Zethkar was still studying his readings, his mandibles clicking in amazement. The monitoring systems could not identify the pattern because there was no pattern to identify. They were responding to an absence, the lack of maternal presence, of pack bonding, of what humans call comfort. "The galaxy's apex predators," Helen murmured, "put to sleep by a human lullaby." Over the following days, Anna established a routine. Twice daily, she would enter the chamber and simply sit with the cubs, sometimes humming, sometimes just being present. The cubs thrived, their development progressing normally for the first time since their rescue. Word spread quickly through the Galactic Conservation Network. The newest species, these strange humans with their pack-bonding instincts and their ancient songs, had solved a problem that had stumped the galaxy's best xenobiologists for months. Dr. Zethkar filed his report with a note that would be quoted in scientific journals for years to come. "The human approach to xenobiology appears to be based not on advanced technology or superior analytical capability, but on an intuitive understanding that all life, regardless of origin, shares certain fundamental needs. Perhaps this is why the universe gave us humans, not as conquerors or scholars, but as caretakers." Anna never saw the report. She was too busy humming lullabies to 6 of the galaxy's most dangerous predators, who slept peacefully whenever she was near, their scales the soft colors of contentment and trust.